because no one's been placing orders. I don't know of a single dealership that's been placing orders. In fact, most of the dealerships I know have actually asked to postpone anything that they had in the hopper to be built. So they don't want any additional inventory coming their way. And then I think from a used car perspective, I mean, look at this. We've had dealerships now that have been almost 3 months with used cars just sitting on their lot. I mean, if you, depending on your reconditioning process and your efforts, man, you're probably going to be dumping another 5, 6, 7, 800 bucks into each one of those stinking cars to make sure that they're, ready to go again. I mean, I don't think people realize what happens to a pre-owned vehicle when you leave it there, and the brake pads get seized up and you're having to rework brakes and all this other crap. Like, the expense of everything is going to go up. I mean, I know some dealerships. I'm curious if you guys have heard the same. Some dealerships have actually seen this and started buying heavy. And then I've seen other dealerships have seen this and they're getting scared and they're starting to sell quickly. So I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Buy or sell right now as far as inventory goes. Andrew, I'll start with you, and then Jeff, I'll ask you the same.
Are you liquid? Like if you're liquid, you're buying. If you're liquid, buy when the market's low, right? The problem is where most of the dealers will just get slaughtered on the curtailments on the lines, and that's what they can't afford to do. They can't afford to grab these cars right now at the block and then hold them for 4 or 5 months. Yeah, exactly. It's just there's just too much uncertainty. But I think that with the dollar too, we could see export come back in a huge way, like which is super unfortunate. It is because it's now at a point where we just have to call it out and say, like, guys, it's having the vehicles to retail in our own backyard and in our own economy is far more important than getting, retail, ish numbers wholesale, exporting it. So I think export's going to come, export obviously is going to, is going to be a thing again. And inventory is going to be scarce, man. Like it's going to be super scarce. You should be turning your dealerships into buying centers, like CarMax's in the US. Seriously, buying centers, just like doing appraisals, digital appraisals for the consumer's trades, like anything you could do for vehicle acquisition. Dealers are going to need to put focus and attention on that for sure.
Jeff, what are your thoughts?
We're definitely sell right now in a sell position. I shouldn't say it. I don't know that aspect. I shouldn't say that. I mean, we're obviously always focused on the sell. That's what I am. So I don't always see the behind the scenes and what we should be doing or not. But we're definitely.
Are you concerned at all inventory may not be there?
New wise right now, no, but that could literally change overnight because again, we have this lull where we haven't been getting the orders, the inventory. So yeah, we'll sell through what we've got now, but to get the manufacturers to catch up, right? Especially us in truck country, like. One night we can have 100 trucks there. The next there's like 30, right? So it can literally change that fast on the right promotion. Obviously, there's good promotions going on right now, but it can literally change that quickly. So it's nerve wracking, but it's so uncertain. And I know the funny part is we have been focusing more on our used side. Sometimes I think that's like the redheaded stepchild that the used department, and a lot of my focus actually being back has been all on getting all of our used stuff up, getting videos on it, getting pictures of them all taken, and just really focusing on our used inventory online because again, we are getting more interest in it. And especially with used cars, you have to have stuff online for it, right? And with not having a lot of employees and letting a lot of people off, like I'm taking the role of doing a lot of that stuff now too. But again, we are putting a lot of focus on the used because again, it's one of the markets where people are a little, at least where we are. Again, I only know what my industry here is doing, and what I see is, a lot of fear in the sense of, well, are we going to have a job? Our major employer here is Algoma Steel, right? It's a steel plant, which we produce steel for automotive. And if we're not selling cars, they're not working there, and they're getting laid off. So I think there's a lot of nervousness, especially just the history of Algoma Steel and Sault Ste. Marie being up and down and up and down. And people are a little bit nervous, so they're going to go out and buy a used vehicle to get them by for now. So there is a lot of focus on our used, but not so much for buying used right now. We're not going out and looking for it. Obviously we're still taking trades as on a normal basis from our new perspective, but we're not going out and from what I've seen, we're not going out and looking for it right now. So